June the 3rd, Luke chapter 6 and Proverbs chapter 3. Now, Luke chapter 6 is one of those really long chapters. I think it's like 49 verses, and I'm only going to pick 11 words, only part of one verse out of Luke chapter 6. I'm sure you got a lot of, it's a massive chapter of great teaching. So probably if there's 50 other people we're talking to, then 50 other people got 50 different nuggets, which is the beauty of dialogue and team and sharing nuggets together. For me, I went with the classic. I went with the one that I've probably used more than any other phrase out of Luke chapter 6. The last part of verse 45 says, 11 words, "For out of the overflow of his heart, his mouth speaks." Whew. Wow. Nothing more. Other than thousands of times for me, for other people, but I always want to start with me. There's been many times that I find unkind or negative words coming out of my mouth, and there's like, okay, if that's what's in my mouth, then that's what's in my heart. But even more often, I've learned to listen to what's rattling in my head, that what wants to come out of my mouth. I'm sitting here at a table, at a meeting, in some situation, and I find in my head these words, pay attention to me, or talk about me, or how come you guys aren't praising me, or how come no one's looking at me, or I think I'm smarter, and I find all these things in my head, and I'm able sometimes to stop them while they're in my head, and I go, okay, if that's what wants to come out of my mouth, then my heart is not doing very good right now. And that lets me know that there's things in my heart that I need to bring into the presence of Jesus. So sometimes I'm able, by the mercy of God, to stop them while they're rattling around in my head. Okay, if that's what's in my head, then that's what's in my heart. And I'm able to take those heart issues into the Word of God, into the Spirit of God, in the presence of God, and to let Jesus clean up my heart. So now there's pure water coming out. Boy, what powerful 11 words. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Now let's go over to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 3 is not only one of my memory chapters, but when my kids were little, I actually taught them 4 or 5 chapters of the Word of God that we memorized. And when you are teaching a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old to memorize chapters of the Word, in Proverbs chapter 3 is 35 verses. And we took about 2 years with my kids to memorize it. And this one is pure fun. What I did with my kids is we would memorize a verse every week or two, and I had to dramatize the verse. And so on Proverbs chapter 3, verse 13, we got to, "Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding." And my kids are in their 30s now, and I have grandkids, and I'm a very blessed man, but we still joke about some of the things that Daddy did to help them memorize the verses. And so for those of you who some of you might not even remember who Elvis is, but my kids had watched some old Elvis movies. And so what I did to help them memorize this, I said, "Blessed is," and I took the word the man, and I said, "This is the Elvis verse." I'm really doing this, believe it or not. And so I would say, "Blessed is the man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding." And so whenever we get to verse 13 as a family, we'd quote these verses together. We'd all stand up and we'd say, "Blessed is," and we'd all go pause and go, "The man who finds wisdom, the man who gains understanding." And so I have no great nugget today other than sometimes it's fun to make up mental mnemonics that help you memorize the Word of God, and you laugh and you have a good time in the process. I hope you're laughing today. I hope you are having fun in the Word of God. I hope the Lord has filled your heart with joy and love and peace. God bless you. Have an awesome day today.